Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live, where we're going to be talking about the dirty little secrets of extrapolation of possibilities with business and capitalism. So, what are these dirty little secrets of extrapolation? Well, one of the things we want to invite you to is a session that we're running in about 3 days' time, I think, isn't it?
Yes, on day 4.
On day 4 of facilitator training, where we'll be exploring in greater depth what the extrapolation of possibilities might look like. But what we invite you to is to look at how we can make this reality work for us in ways that this reality doesn't even know about.
When we talk about dirty secret, because the three of us has been working in the business world for quite some time, and we really truly know how to use this reality, how to employ this reality to work for us. So that's why we have a lot of secret. Right?
Well, it's actually not a secret. It's just stop avoiding this reality. It's there. It's kind of real, so don't avoid it.
That's the dirty little secret.
There is a reality out there, and just because you don't like it and it's not too fun to be out there, well, then turn it into your servant and make it work for you. And this is what actually I do. I mean, most of you know I'm running a law firm, an international law firm. Is it fun to do that? No, but I turn it into fun. Like Steve and Tissa with their corporate governance, with their businesses they're running. It's sometimes not easy and not fun when you meet all these people with fixed points of views, with functioning from this reality. Everything has to be right and wrong, and if there's no conclusion, it's nothing worth. Turn that into a possibility, play with it, use it to your advantage. You don't have to avoid this reality in order to have fun with it. This is why we have the tools, and we want to share with you how we are using them so that you have more ease playing and creating and making money in this reality. This is what it's all about, right?
Well, the key secret is we are being the tools ourselves.
Yes.
And if you are choosing to be the tools and to really be that tools anywhere in the world, you are being extrapolation of possibilities in working. And that's the title of our class. Monday night,
day 4 facilitator training.
We are going to be talking about extrapolation of possibilities with business and capitalism. And what we have found that most people create their business and their life far too small. What would it be like if you start expanding your life, start creating larger life than you could ever imagine? Would that be something that would be interesting to you? Would that be something that would be more fun than just creating little life and little business? And between the three of us, we have a lot of tips and tricks combined with the awareness and access to.
Oh yeah, and we have stories to share because we've been there and done that, and that makes it easier. I'm talking to Steve and listening to his stories when he turns around and steers the pots in board meetings of Australian NGOs. Oh my God. I could listen to that 24/7. It's fun, it's an inspiration, and it actually shows me what capacity I could be if I would actually truly choose that.
So one of the things that we do have a lot of fun with is actually using the tools of access to create different questions in people's universes, and how every one of us, everyone who's watching this, every one of us can actually create multi-million-dollar successful businesses, if that's what you choose, by using the tools of access to actually make this reality work for you, and at the same time change the reality for the people that you're willing to work with. What if you were actually the question when you were dealing with people? That's one of the dirty little secrets. What if you were actually the question? What if people paid you for not saying things? What would that look like? What if people paid you to actually create a time where they did not have to spend much time?
I wonder, David, can you just give them a sneak peek of what they might get on the night? Or is that something that we should keep?
Oh, we've got to share a couple of secrets.
We can share a couple.
Steve, you can start one
Well, one of the dirty little secrets is, and I know you've never heard this one before, but it's to have no point of view whether someone gets what it is that you're offering them to actually look at. And having no point of view actually opens up the possibilities for them to see something different rather than you deciding what it is that you want them to see. So what we find is that when we have no point of view about something, it means we don't have to have the answer for anything, which means that we actually create an amazing advisory consultancy business where we're being the question rather than trying to come up with answers.
These two guys are so great at having no point of view. I think they can do it better than me. For me, and I still require to use the two interesting point of view. And I don't go around saying interesting point of view to people, but I'm being interesting point of view. And that's something that I'm building the muscle, but you are very good at. I mean, you are amazing.
Well, I have to admit
something. The stories you
yes,
can tell.
I mean,
I'm good at it, but what I can share here is there is no final level like the rooftop where you actually get and say, okay, I have no point of view now. I'm choosing this now. No, it's a day-to-day practice. I always have to remind myself, hey, no point of view. And there are a lot of situations in my daily business as a lawyer where I do have a point of view. But the fun part is, or the great thing about it is, I'm aware of it and I acknowledge it. Wow, that's a point of view now. I'm having a point of view here. And then this is when I can actually change things. Not going into the wrongness, oh my God, another time I had a point of view, another time I was wrong. I'm still not there. There is no advanced level where you have no point of view automatically. It's a choice. It's a daily choice to have no point of view. And to have no point of view requires to actually find out, wow, this is a point of view, acknowledge it and get over it.
And every time you're willing to change your point of view, you will make more money. So what if you are actually constantly changing your point of view or being willing to change your point of view? Because you don't have to necessarily change it as long as you're willing to change it. But then again, you may as well change it because every time you change it, you will actually make more money. Now, let me show you a good example of making this reality work for you. Can everyone please press the little love hearts on their Facebook Live and just see how many of those love hearts we've got? Well, what if you were able to do the same thing with other people's points of view? What if you're able to get the ability to press the love hearts of this reality, to actually create the change without any point of view about what that change should be? That's the dirty little secrets that we're talking about.
But let's stay on that topic of point of view though. You know, between the three of us, we know that we can create, even generate a lot more when we change our point of view, right? Like our business already successful, but every time we change our point of view, we expand and grow our business a lot more. Like every time we say, okay, let's make it even bigger by just asking that.
Let's change our point of view about being successful. What would that look like?
And changing the point of view of what I think is very important, especially since we're having the biggest facilitator class, changing the point of view about competition. What would your reality look like if competition didn't exist? Exactly. Why? What would your reality look like if everything would be a contribution? Competition doesn't exist. You can't compete. It's the other people out there choosing. It's their choice. And having no point of view about what other people choose gives you an amazing freedom and gets you over the point of view, oh my God, there are too many facilitators, we do competition now. So these are the things that we are going to talk about.
Can we?
But as the Richest View facilitator, we had conversation often about how people keep their life and business small because they're trying to hide from the authority, they're trying to hide from the world,
the tax, from the
whatever.
legal.
So they keep themselves so tiny.
Oh, you mean they stay under the radar? Continue the little postage stamp life?
It's amazing.
And have ease with everything by actually keeping themselves so small that nobody even noticed them.
But is that ease delusion though? To think that to stay under the radar and have ease. What do you think, David?
Well, I think a lot of people stay under the radar because they don't acknowledge that they have the capacity to come up and be present and set up a business where it actually doesn't matter to be audited by tax authorities, to be audited by whatever governmental body. It's easy. You just need to educate yourself a little, ask the right question, and then use all the tools to manipulate. And you'll get over it.
The byproduct of manipulation is creating more money.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So
it is.
Why not learn to manipulate this reality in ways that you have never ever considered?
But did you not say that by saying that I'm staying under the radar is like, if we're not trusting that we have a capacity, by saying, oh, it's more easy to stay under the radar, it's a reason and justification and the excuse to not actually go out there and choose to be more and create more.
Well, it's actually the perfect excuse and justification. And it's more, I get the energy of refined judgments. It's this, no, I'm so smart, I'm staying on the radar, I'm doing this and this and this. Well, is it really smart? Or would it be, or could it be smarter to finally set up your business properly, step up, and stop avoiding being on the radar of tax authorities?
At what point when you go above the radar, is it 500,000, a million, 2 million? How low, how small can you be before you actually be beyond
there is no
the
number.
radar?
It's always there is no number. And please, we don't want to talk you into creating a multi-million business tomorrow. We want to get you started, getting over your points of view so that you can actually create that on a long run. You don't have to make 100,000 a month as of next month.
Why not, David?
Because they
won't
don't
think
believe
it's
it. They don't believe it. They think it's impossible. So you have to tell them, do it step by step in small little steps. Otherwise, they don't get it. You need to tell people what they are willing to receive.
But
getting the energies of everybody who's watching, they're not choosing it. They're beginners.
They will have to change some things, though.
Well, then they would have to come to our class.
Well,
oh God, did we mention that it's not for free?
Oh, now this is going to really create another point of view for the people. Are you,
of course.
Are you guys ready?
Now, are you willing to start looking at, right from now on, to start changing your points of view about a whole lot of things, including the pricing structure?
Now, this is a time for you to look at your point of view. Dr. Kube is going to introduce this for you to maintain the interesting point of view right now. Just maintain that interesting point of view.
And
right
this
now.
is a great,
about pricing.
a great example of manipulating this reality. Over to you, Dr. Kube.
A very good friend of mine said, talk is cheap. And we all talk about choosing and choice create. So I thought like, okay, well, then let's create the price structure where people have to choose. So if you want to attend our evening tasters or evening taster on day 4 facilitators, you have choice. You can choose your own price. You can choose to pay a $350 US. You get the class. You can choose to pay a $250 US. You get the same class. Or you choose to buy a ticket for Project Possibilities, where you get the class and where you can stay 1 night at the castle or 3 nights at El Lugar. You just have to go online. But what would I choose? I would have chosen the 350. Why? Because then I would felt right to sit in first row with my own mic and asking all the questions that I always wanted to ask. Because if I pay the most, I get the most. This was actually my interesting point of view.
So you would choose 350, right?
Well, that was, I would have done that. Me being a beginner in Access, I would have gone, what? These people, I want to ask all the questions that I have. And if I paid 250, I kind of would feel, no, I paid the least price. I was functioning from that.
But don't you think you could ask the same question if you paid 300 plus the night at the castle?
I had a different point of view.
David?
A crazy one. So I'm glad that I'm over it. And so, I know now that everyone will now think, well, will they know who is choosing what?
So when we talk about the extrapolation of possibilities with business and capitalism, don't forget your life and living is your business. Capitalism is just a point of view. So what if you were able to actually truly know that you could create your life and living as a business, and you had no point of view about any labels that people put on capitalism, socialism, democracy? What if you're able to function from that space, create obscene amounts of money, and then create the change that this world actually requires?
Well, I can feel a lot of point of view coming across the thing right now about capitalism and business.
It's bad because it's
Can
bad.
we
They
talk
think it's
about
bad.
it? Well, you would know.
Well, been there, done that.
So maybe, David, can you talk about the point of view that people might get about capitalism right now?
Well, capitalists are assholes and rich people are mean. This is what this reality functions from. And if money is easy, it's worthless. So it has to be hard work. I mean, welcome to Europe. This class is in Europe, so we have to pick those people up from where they are. And this is where
So
they function
could
from.
they actually become a capitalist in
Well,
Europe?
this is why we're doing the class. I hope so.
So what do they need to change? What point of view do they need to change to even move from socialist or communist or whatever to capitalist? Why should they even change their point of view?
Well, they need to get over the point of view that being rich and having a lot of money changes your character and you end up like those rich assholes that are out there. This is actually the most limitation. This is what this reality and all the political systems use to keep them in place. They tell you capitalism is bad. And when you ask yourself, actually, why? No, there is no why. This is what you've been told for years, for generations. And this is just the point of view that everyone needs to get over. It's not bad. It's more fun and it's more ease. And you don't turn into an asshole by becoming rich.
Unless you're already an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Then you'll just be an asshole with more
Character
money.
doesn't change.
But though, what's the benefit of even looking at become a capitalism? Because if the person is very happy being a socialist and life's good, and there's no inspiration or no invitation to be a capitalist.
Well, capitalists have more choice. When you are a socialist, you function from that other people need help. No, the weak need help, the rich need to help the poor. So what point of view is created when you actually come to the conclusion that other people are weak? You disempower them. I look into a world where I go, okay, let's empower them to step up. Don't give them social aids, don't give them extra money because they have no job. No, empower them to find a job that they really enjoy. It's actually dishonoring. And this is why I'm doing this. I was a socialist of magnitude. I mean, they were facilitating me in Melbourne 2 years ago at the Benevolent Capitalism class. Wow, I had fixed point of view. I was proud to be a socialist. They paid my university fees. They paid my school fees. All of that. I was brainwashed, or maybe also gaslighted. Well, it took them 20 minutes to turn my brain around.
It was hard work. It was hard work.
Was it?
But the most wonderful thing about David is, though, that's the first thing that we met him the first half an hour. Someone who actually looked at it and said, oh, it doesn't work for me anymore, I change it.
That's how hard it was, folks. He just said, I'll change that.
This is a man who really truly able to function from, oh, that doesn't work for me, I'm just going to change it. So I'm just wondering whether I would like to pose this question. Just tap into his energy that 1 minute he's a socialist. 5 minutes later when he looked through it and said, well, that doesn't work for me, I'm changing it. And he's truly actually let that go. So what we are inviting you to look at it is truly possible. Look at this man. Look at this man. It's possible. Right?
It's real. I'm real.
It's real.
They don't pay me
And
to say that.
he looks good. It's not a cut out figure. And 1 minute he said, I'm a socialist. I'm trying to hang on to this. It's so painful because they paid for me to be socialist for so long. And then he said, well, you know what? That just doesn't work. I'm ready to be a benevolent capitalist. And that's so amazing. And what we are saying is, you don't have to not choosing to be whatever. The key thing is to look at your point of view. Are your points of view create limitation in your life? And if you get yes, maybe you could ask, so what else can I choose? You know, I don't have to be stuck with the points of view that I have. If I don't have to be stuck with that, can I choose to be whatever or do whatever, I create whatever? Which ones feel lighter? And it is truly possible.
It is.
It is. And instead of be whatever it is, you can be benevolent capitalist.
Yes. So,
Be
what are you
visual.
choosing? What are you choosing? Whatever you choose, it will create something. So, our class is just a choice away.
It is a choice away.
3 days and a choice away. We would love to have you there. The more people that are there, the more questions that people ask, the more the class gets created. We also have audio live, so you don't even have to travel to beautiful Rome. You can just jump on audio live and listen to the class.
It'll also be translated into
I think all the languages that I hear.
Pretty much. And thank you to all the Italians listening to this, because I know it's been translated into Italian.
Yes.
Ciao!
And,
Ciao, amore.
and German.
And German. Oh,
right?
Oh, really?
Oh.
In Deutsch.
Saskia,
Sehr
we
gut.
love you.
Saskia, ich liebe dich.
Saskia, you're amazing.
That's a shout
what
out.
else? So whatever.
So if
the-
people join online, please make sure that you register for class first and then buy the ticket. This is how we find out whether you bought the ticket to attend the class. Because if you bought tickets like a month ago, it's not your ticket to that class. This class needs to be a choice. Please get that. So register and then buy the ticket, and then we know that you were choosing the class.
Where do they go to register?
They go to the Access Consciousness website under my profile, accessconsciousness.com/David Kubis. The class is listed. And then they go to projectpossibilities.com. I mean, you get an autoresponder with all the different payments. On the class, of course, because the setup of the homepage is not prepared yet. It just mentions one price. But when you get the autoresponder, you have all your choices there. Then you go and buy your ticket, or you just pay the $350 USD or the $250.
No pre-rec.
Yeah, and if anyone wonders whether there's a prereq to this class, no, because we don't exclude.
One of the prereqs that might be useful to consider is to leave all your fixed points of view at the door as you walk in, because you'll get so much more out of the class if you're willing to look at things from a different perspective.
But hey, you can bring them as well. After talking to us, you know, after talking to us, maybe you might even slightly choose to let them go, but bring all your point of view. It's fine.
Well, I did bring them to the benevolent capitalism class in Melbourne 2 years ago, so you can bring
everything.
I mean, it's for free. They don't have to pay extra.
Actually, that's the point. Bring your fixed points of view, because we'll have a lot of fun with them. There's a challenge for you.
Yeah, I love to be challenged. Believe me.
Yes.
Okay, folks, so hope you've enjoyed this Facebook Live, the dirty little secrets of extrapolation of possibilities with business and capitalism. I remembered it.
Cheers.
Good.
Cheers.
See you.
Bye,
on day
everyone.
4. Bye.
Lots of love hearts. Bye.
Cheers.